Hi, welcome back to Christine's Health Affairs. I thought I'd better give you a quick update since I had my 5th chemo treatment the other day. It is now Friday. So I had round 5 chemo on Wednesday. Today is Friday night and I have the house to myself. Well, I have the inside to myself. Chris and Coco both have playmates over tonight. Chris has a regular mate that comes over every week and they have a really big hit of table tennis. They do a lot of training and drills, and his friend has a dog that Coco just loves. So Coco has a puppy mate coming over on Friday nights as well, and they just go silly outside. So at least they get a reprieve from all of this nonsense that we're going on with at the moment. I'm feeling pretty good, as you can tell, because last time I felt like crap. The chemo that I had during the week was only 1 dose of chemo and half strength steroids compared to the one that I had the previous week. That one really knocked me silly. I thought that I was only going to be unwell the Friday, Saturday, Sunday, but it actually took until Wednesday before I came good for the most part. I was pretty emotional the whole week, and I don't think I've cried at all today, and possibly not even yesterday, so that's a big achievement. I think on a normal day I'm a bit of a sook anyway. I can cry at the drop of a hat. I got a couple of people to thank, some cards that came in the mail, and that was Marianne from Canada, Bixie from Bavaria, and a couple of gifts as well. A beautiful zippered pouch, beautifully made by Bixie. And this one is from Marianne, a patch, brave, strong and fearless. And there are also some stickers and faith over fear. And I like this one, inhale courage and exhale fear. I think that's brilliant. And a beautiful hand-stitched, machine-stitched card as well. And something that I got from the UK, a really beautiful quilt. I'm going to show it to you. It's got a label on there, made in 2025 for Christine, and it's also got the label on here, Oh So Green, Rolling Countryside Made Me Sew It, handmade in Devon by Mrs. Green. And she's gone and made me this absolutely gorgeous lap quilt that I can take to chemo and snuggle up with. I actually was going to make one for myself because mine's getting a little bit ratty. Coco shares it with me. But have a look at that. It's absolutely gorgeous. Just beautiful. So I can put that in my chemo bag and take it away with me when we go to chemo on Wednesdays and snuggle up underneath it. I love it. Thank you very much. That's absolutely beautiful. I did have a suggestion from one of the viewers, and I've apologised, I've forgotten your name, if I could share photos of things that I've received. So I'm going to try and set something up in the community tab on this page, and I'm going to take photos of all of the cards and gifts and everything that I've received so that I can acknowledge everybody that way, and so that you can see exactly what people have sent me as well. It's been fantastic. Anyway, enough of that. How am I feeling? Pretty good. I still haven't got the results from my Brax test, which is a breast cancer genetic test. It's supposed to take about a month. It's been longer than that now. My oncologist had to go to a meeting the other day, so I didn't get a chance to ask her, but she would have called me anyway if there were any results there, because that will determine, after all the chemo is finished, that will determine whether or not I have to have the mastectomy or a lumpectomy. And speaking of the lump, was I? Yeah. It's shrinking. So when I saw the oncologist the previous week, I hadn't touched it or anything because I'm kind of not speaking to it, but I did have a feel, and I could barely feel the lump that I had. So it was quite a large lump, and it's really hard to find now. And where it was about the size of a really large grape, about 3 centimetres or so. It's now about the size of a pea. So the oncologist really struggled to find it, which is really good news. So I've had 5 rounds of chemo every week for the past 5 weeks. I still have 11 rounds of chemo to go. So the first lot is 12 rounds for 12 weeks, and then I have 4 rounds over another 12 weeks. And after that, surgery happens. I found out the other week that it's possible I may have to have more chemo. I don't know why. And then probably radiation therapy after the surgery. So still a long way to go. I don't know if anybody's noticed that when I do the description in the videos, I always say it's been like 10 days since I've known about cancer, or 20 days. I'm keeping a tally just for myself to know how long this journey is taking before I get the all clear. I'm a numbers girl. I like to know things like that. I did want to say, a lot of people are concerned that I may be putting too much pressure on myself for doing these videos, especially when I'm extremely emotional. This has actually been really good therapy for me. Before I found out, when I first found out I had the breast cancer, Chris and I, we both thought we were alone and that it was going to be a death sentence. So I knew nothing because I really didn't know many people that had been through it, and it wasn't something that people often openly talk about. So I want to share my journey, whether it's good or bad, because it helps me heal and learn. I've learnt more from the viewers' comments than I've learnt in research. You know, Google doesn't know everything. AI doesn't know much at all. There's so many mixed messages and things that we've got to learn or listen to. It's much easier coming from people that have actually been through these experiences themselves. So for me, this channel is actually really helpful. It helps with my mental health, helps me vent, I guess, although I've probably not been as angry as sometimes I feel. But look, I'm coping. This week I'm coping. Last week I wasn't. I wanted to give it all up. This week, I'm sort of halfway. I don't know that if I, get the all clear in and I'm clear for 5 or 10 years, I don't know if I would want to go through this journey again. Not that anybody wants to go through this journey. But yeah, I don't know that I would want to put myself through this again. So it kind of shows a little bit of weakness, I guess. But I don't know. I think, look, I'm next week I've got chemo on my birthday. I'm going to be 61. It's okay now to be doing all of this stuff in my mind, making sure I can stick around for the next 40 or 50 years because I've got a lot of fabric to use up. But would I want to do this again if I'm 80? I don't know that I would. That's just my opinion. I think life's not that enjoyable with all of these chemo drugs and the emotions and the weakness and stuff like that. That's just my thought. I'm not giving up. Just how I feel at the moment. Probably change my mind next week. I'm a woman, I can do that. I don't think I have anything else to say. I just thought I'd give you a quick update, let you know that I'm doing fine this week. Took the dog for a walk by myself, although I am getting a lot of cramps. They're annoying, so I have to go really slow with Coco. And the other thing that is bothering me at the moment is my head. It's really, really hot and sweaty, and this is one of the reasons why I come to you guys, is because people have been through the same thing. I don't want to wear anything on my head, but at the moment I have to because I'm starting to get a rash. So it's more of a heat rash. I don't know if you can see, but it's really prickly and I've got red spots everywhere. And I don't think it's a good look for walking out in the street or even sitting at the shop, having my back to people and all they see is this red spotted, bald headed woman. Speaking of, I had a video call with my son today, and he's living in Thailand, and he introduced me to the cleaner at his business, and she's waving, and she said, "Is that your papa?" So I said to Chris the other day I thought I looked like a man, and he didn't say anything, not in a bad way. But yeah, it was funny that a lady over in Thailand thought I was my son's father and not the mother. But that's okay. I think I look like Smeggle, maybe Smeggle's mother, I don't know. But if anybody's got any ideas for the head rash, I'd love to know. I am using a Mugu product that I got from a viewer last week, and that's a medicated wash. So I've got that in the shower and I am rubbing that on my skin. But I just feel like I am really clammy and hot, and having to put a hat on my head actually makes it worse. So at home I'm not putting anything on, but when I go out in the street I do need to, because it doesn't look very healthy. So if you've got any ideas, let me know. I would love to know what I can do about my head. Anyway, I'm going to love you and leave you. Cancer's tough, but we're tougher. See you next time.